go first to Chris. Are you inspired, Chris?
By what Zara Sultana said?
Well, the launch of a new, the beginnings of a new party led by her and Jeremy Corbyn. Are you inspired? Do you see this as the coming of the dawn of socialism?
No.
Easy job. Next question.
Because, well, just a couple of things. This is what, based on what Sultana said. She talked about the two-party system, and we've actually really just got one party, and creating a new social democratic party is just going to become part of the same big party, because our system isn't run on true democracy. It's run by the establishment, and parliamentary democracy will always, at the best, it'll bring in slight changes that help the working class. And she's proved that by saying she voted against things which have happened anyway. So her vote had no power, and the British public's vote will have no power, even if their party get in. So I'm not inspired at all, because this is not in the least way revolutionary. It's just going to continue the system we've had for centuries.
Yeah. All good points there, Chris. Well, we have got comments from people who are like in favour of this in the chat, so we'll come to that after we've had the initial contributions from comrades. So, Rick, I'll go to you next for your initial reaction. Are you going out to buy a Jeremy Corbyn hat and T-shirt?
Are they available? Wow, do you know what I might do?
I'm sure. Yeah. Online merch is going to be a big thing with this.
It's like there's a lot of these small leftist groups that seem to get merch before they get a manifesto, isn't it? You know what I mean? But
you wonder where they get the money from.
I know, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's fantastic. It's almost like they were created to corral the workers, to make sure that they're still about, just for when somebody left of Labour returns. Left of Starmer, should I say? Because as soon as somebody left of Starmer comes in, if Angela Rayner, even though she's equally as reactionary, they will all flock back thinking this is the new dawn. But what I look forward to is the dismay that people feel after this, because once again, it will make more and more people realise that these establishment leftists, they're not the answer. They're not going to change anything. They're part of the system, as Chris just said. She mentioned in her thing there, Westminster is broken. It's not broken. It's acting as it should do. You know, the parliamentary system was created by the bourgeois so they could rule over us. So they had a say within the governance of Britain. So it's not broken. It's not broken at all. And she says, I've been there for 14 years. I voted this, I voted that. But you've been bringing people in to support the Labour Party in those whole 14 years. And knowing your votes will fall, knowing that you and whatever silly little cloth heads are still available as so-called leftists within the Labour Party will vote for you, but you will have a minority. You essentially, you are taking the imperialist pound, as we mentioned in one of our tweets, and continuing to support them. The Labour Party supported a genocide for the length of time since the 7th of October and beyond. The Labour Party were there for the creation of NATO. They were a big part of that. The Labour Party is a racist imperialist party. So for 14 years, she has supported that. And now she leaves. Now she can follow on from St. Jeremy's new venture, which it's not going to do anything. It's social democracy. You know, it's the active wing of fascism. It will not create anything new. It will only further dismay the workers, and that's what I look forward to, because I don't want anybody to I do want people to start feeling bad, because I want them to realise that this is not the way forward. We need to realise that parliamentarism these mild reforms will not do anything for us.
No, exactly. Okay, we've got more comments coming in, so I'll throw to Ian for your analysis of this deeply uninspiring event.
Well, I'm absolutely over the moon and excited. Well, no, I'm not actually. I'm not. It's a joke, isn't it? I mean, you were talking about the T-shirts. I said, I'm just thinking, have they got any mugs? Oh, sorry, they're the ones who are going to be joining, aren't they? But yeah, it just made me think back to the general election, and I picked up the form in the polling station, and it had 5 imperialist parties, 5 shades of shitlib, and now I've got the exciting thought that there'll be a 6th shade of shitlib, another imperialist party, to just put a big cross through. I mean, it's laughable, isn't it? And Corbyn himself, it reveals what he's like. I mean, if he was serious about this, he'd have done it in 2020 when he still had his momentum followers, and he's left it because he was hoping that he'd get forgiven by Starmer and be invited back into the Labour Party, but he wasn't. But I tell you what was the most cringe of all. Yesterday, when I found out about it, I went looking at the media, social media, and on the news, and I went on the BBC website, and it had a quote from, the ultimate grifter of the left, MacDonald, and he said, "Hang on, I'll have to look." He goes, "I'm dreadfully sorry to see Zara leave lose Zara from the Labour Party," which says something, because Zara and him and a couple of others are suspended, aren't they? They're not part of the Parliamentary Labour Party, and it just shows he's got no intention of risking his safe little seat. And a small party, he's gonna carry on, kneeling down in front of Sir Keir and saying, please let me back in. I don't want to be thrown to the wilderness and have no job. Yeah. I can't see it being a great success. I mean, it could have one small positive. I mean, the Labour Party are going to get absolutely snotted at the next election, and if they lose, 10, 15, 20% of their voters to this new Arise lark, then they'll go down even further, which would be funny. But to be fair, it doesn't give the working class in Britain any hope at all. None.
No, and fundamentally, they're trying to recreate something which is dead, which is that this is all nostalgia for the social democratic reform period of 1945 to 51. That's all this is, and there's been no real substantive reform in a direction of being pro-working class in any substantial way since that period of 45 to 51. Everything since then has been remorselessly taking it back. And all of the parties in Britain who keep trying to find a way back to that get rumbled by the working class really quickly, because there is no way back. Like the system's too rotten and degenerated to be reformed. You try and reform this system, you will get absolutely nowhere. But I think that the development of this is significant in the sense that it's becoming harder and harder to be I think what it was Lenin's phrase, the permanently outvoted minority in the Labour Party, because people hate the Labour Party. So if you want to be like a left-winger in permanent, well-remunerated opposition, it's actually getting to the point where you stand a better chance of doing that outside the Labour Party than in it, because the Labour Party is so hated now. And it was hated when Corbyn was leader as well. I've told the story before about going round when I was a Labour Party member, knocking on doors in places like Bolton and Bury, where you tell people to vote Labour, where Labour's run the councils in those areas for decades, like in some cases since World War II. And the area's just been dragged down and down and down. And everyone there, every worker knows that it's the Labour Party that's ultimately responsible for this. So then you turn up saying, but Jeremy Corbyn's going to change everything. It's like, well, no. And like millions of workers never believed that. So the excitement over this is going to be isolated to some people who are in the long-term Jeremy Corbyn fan club. And that's about it. I don't think it's going to reach the bulk of the working class at all. But comrades, we have disagreement in the chat. So does anybody fancy engaging in some controversy? Because we've got a comment here from Zai Tooney, in the chat, who says, I will likely join the Zara and Corbyn party, not out of ideological alignment, but to build class consciousness within the grassroots of said party. I see it developing into something like the Red Party. I have no illusions about social democracy's futility, but I also see the reactionary threat. Reform UK wants to increase UK complicity in the Gaza genocide. So Zaytuni sees the benefits of this. Does anybody want to reply to our friend's, I would say, mistaken analysis of the situation? Rick?
I'll go ahead, mate. Did you say reform wanted to increase our complicity? How?
Yes.
How can we increase our complicity? We are refueling their planes from Cyprus, from one of the occupied countries with one of our military bases. The Zionist project was essentially created in Israel by Britain. The USA took over it, after the Suez crisis, essentially. But we are still a major player within it, and it doesn't matter who. You could bring in flipping the Green Party or any of these silly little capitalist parties who are no different to one another. They say a few different things and have a different rosette, but we will not change what we are doing. What we say, we're the working class. What the British government, what the ruling class of Britain, what the bourgeoisie are doing to these countries, not only Gaza, across the world, that won't change by reform getting in, because they are simply just another organism used to trick the workers. The working class they're being controlled by these ideals. Reform, they've noticed a malaise within the workers, and they've jumped upon it with the likes of reform. Labour Party is saying the same bloody shit. Essentially, you will not join in this to create class consciousness. How are you going to do that? Because you're pulling them back into the same system they need to get away from.
Yeah, well said, Rick. Chris?
Yeah. Well, I agree with what Rick said about joining any kind of social democratic party is not going to raise class consciousness. It's just going to keep people enslaved to the system that is keeping us all down. And I just wanted to mention as well that Reform have also split, and they have started a party called Advance UK. I don't know much about them, because when I typed that into the internet, it came up with a disability care system, which already exists. So,
right. Well, write your own jokes about the House of Lords. There,
bit of irony there, isn't there?
There is, but also to Zaytuni, the offence against Iran has been supported by our current government, but the RAF have sent planes over to that area. They haven't actually attacked anything, but they've got a presence there. So even if Reform are supporting it, our Labour government, is actually doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sound point, Chris. Ian, did you want to come respond to the pro-Corbyn comment there?
Yes, I mean, class consciousness. We're talking about working class consciousness. We got to remember that the Labour Party, and this Labour Party Mark II, which is what it really is going to be, the Labour Party has never been interested in the working class, or at least they're only interested in the aristocracy of Labour, the higher status working class people, and the petty bourgeoisie. And there's no way that Corbyn's rabble is going to be any better. So they're not going to be appealing. They're not even going to be on the same wavelength as us in the working class. It's not realistic. I don't want to shatter people's illusions, but if they just go and read Robert Clough's book, Labour, a party fit for imperialism, and he'll put you straight on all this. The Labour Party has never been for the working class. It's never been socialist. It's had socialists in it who come along they make a nice little niche for themselves and earn a good living. But no, if you want to raise class consciousness and join a party, join a proper anti-imperialist party like the CPG-BML, because there isn't any other party in Britain